Radio Zero welcomes back to the show the multi-talented, many-hatted Chuck Platinum. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. What's going on, y'all?
The first thing I want to talk to you about, when I look at your bio, I get completely overwhelmed because you are so busy. You have so much to talk about that I don't even know where to start. But I think the best place to begin is your new project that just came out. Can you please tell us a little about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. My new project that's out right now, it's called 40. 40 dropped November 21st. Man, it's a beautiful project. Just something like, I just wanted to do something real quick. I'm in the middle of working on my album. So I was working on it and I was doing songs. And, I just got me a couple of toys. I got this new machine, this Native Instruments machine. And, every time I get like a new toy or some new sounds, the best way to try it out is to make some new music. So I was making these beats and these beats was just sounding crazy. And I was like, you know what? Let me just drop a project just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? No direction, no format, no me overthinking like I usually do. Let's just go back to the basics. Let's have fun with it. And, it came out to be what it is. And, I did it in about 2-3 weeks and, just knocked it out the park and the response has just been ridiculous. Like, some people say, it's some of my best work to date and, it feels good. I wasn't even trying. You know what I'm saying?
That's incredible.
I wasn't even trying.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just on a vibe of, just sitting in the base. I had just moved and, I kind of wanted to test the sound in my basement and, it really wasn't thought out. It wasn't a thought out project. It wasn't like, I can't give you no big story behind it. Like, when we did our interview last time, I really don't have a big story behind it. It was just me, vibing, smoking some weed, sitting in the basement, just vibing off these beats that I've been creating. And was like, you know what, instead of selling these off like I would, because it's getting ready for the new year, so artists about to take their little Christmas vacation anyway. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to shop these. I'm going to just do a project just kind of representing where I'm at right now, So it's not themed, but I did have a little direction. Just like 40 is just, me turning 40 this year, just recently turned 40. And I haven't released a project in 2 years, so I just wanted to kind of, get the fans to see where I'm at now musically and, where my mindset is at. A lot of things has happened since the Focus project. So, there you go. It's 40, shorty.
Tell them, please, where they can get that.
Yeah, this one right now is just on SoundCloud. If you go to my SoundCloud, Chuck Platinum, on SoundCloud.com/Chuck Platinum. I just put it on SoundCloud. It was a free project. Like I said, I wasn't meaning to sell it or anything like that. So you could go right on SoundCloud and get it. If you go to my SoundCloud, it's right there at the top of my playlist. You could get it 40. And honestly, for something that I didn't think about it, I am kind of proud of the project myself. It's, it's a pretty solid effort, if I must say so myself.
Yeah, it definitely is. Have you got anything else planned for the future for new projects?
Yeah. Right now, I'm in the mix of working on my album called Hip Hop Evangelist. It's almost done, really. I think I got about 3 more songs to do. I don't know. Whenever I stop recording for it, because I keep recording records, and it's just been like, these vibes have just been coming up. And this project is really special to me. I've been kind of up and down with this project because of the title of the project. Like, I've been coming up with these monstrous titles, and then it's like, okay, now you have to follow it up. So right now, I'm in the process of kind of figuring out the direction for the project. Like the first half of it sounds good, but I'm kind of like teeter-tottering with the work. So I don't know, since the 40 project, I think I'm going in another direction. So I don't even know if that Hip Hop Evangelist album is going to really drop. When I said something is going to drop that June 25th, I had dropped the date. But I'm not even sure if it's going to be that project, because this project is really elaborate, and I'm really trying to figure out, like, it's powerful because, you know, with a title like Hip Hop Evangelist, a lot of people are thinking I'm going into like Christian rap, and it has nothing to do with anybody's faith or Christianity. So I'm trying to see where the balance is of where I can utilize that title and not offend, you know, my church brothers and sisters, but still get my message across. So I think that's why it's taken me so long to complete this project, because it's still me, but it's 40 but on steroids, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to 40, that's exactly what Hip Hop Evangelist sounds like, but just on a whole nother level. But it's just me telling the truth and what Hip Hop Evangelist needs to be. An evangelist is a person who that's in the church. Anybody that doesn't know what an evangelist is a person that's in the church that actually goes and spreads the word of God and doesn't stay confined in the building, but they're evangelists. They go out and they spread the word within the community. And just, you know, they in New York City, you'll see them on the train. A lot of people think they're weird because they think they're talking to themselves, but those are actually evangelists. They're there on the train, just, you know, speaking the Bible, speaking the word of God out there. So that's kind of where I took it from, just being a hip hop evangelist, just not being confined and just going to speak the word of hip hop out to the people. And, you know, kind of put this culture on my back and get some kind of balance to it right now. You know, there's a lot of great music that's come out this year, 2018. I think that this has been a wonderful, wonderful year for hip hop, independent and major. We've had a lot of people come back. I mean, come on, we got a Nas album, we got a Dipset album. We got all of these great, great albums, and that's another reason why I did 40, because I didn't want to miss out on the momentum. I'm like, you know, with everybody else dropping a project, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and drop one too. So I you know, that's what I did, and you know, that's what we just doing is with this hip hop evangelist. I'm just taking my perspective. I'm in a transition musically now that I'm in my 40s, proud to be there. I always had this responsibility, but now that I'm older and an elder statesman in hip hop, I feel like I have a responsibility to deliver messages in hip hop, as Hove is doing right now. And I think a lot of people are not embracing it as much because, you know, he's older, but people got to remember, like, this man will be 50 years old next year. And this is the first time that we've seen a relevant hip hop artist in hip hop. You know, we got our OGs in the game, don't get me wrong, but like somebody of his prominence in the game, there's nobody that's entered that level being a half a century years old, you know. So I feel like with Jay-Z kind of leading that for us as older guys in hip hop, I feel like it's my responsibility to kind of go side by side with him and really try to deliver a certain message in his music. I never really was a turn up person anyway, but it's really not like that now, you know, having a family, having responsibilities, going through situations and stuff like that. So I try to deliver a little bit of that in 40, just kind of giving people a taste of a little bit of my life, but, you know, writing perspective from a 40-year-old, you know, just somebody who's lived to tell a story and who's lived through a lot of shit to tell the story.
Yeah.
And, you know, and trying to pack it where it's not preachy, but it's just letting you know what's going on and letting you know that, hey, listen, as long as you keep it fresh in hip hop, it don't matter whether you're 40 or not. You know, it could be 40, 50, you know, Jay's still fresh, and I use him as an example because, like I said, he gave a spectacular verse on Meek Mill's project. And it was just very inspiring because I remember when he used to come to the Bronx and we was promoting his records and nobody knew who Jay-Z was. And to see the level that he's gotten to in the game, it makes me a little bit more proud, probably more than anybody really, because I was promoting this man. I remember telling people, this guy's going to be next. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to look as the young boy. You know what I'm saying? I was 15, 16 years old when Can I Get Open and Original Flavor came out, and Top 10 Entertainment, where if you look on his Volume 1 album, he shouts them out. He used to come up 188th Street in that Lexus, and he used to drop off records. And we, having a relationship, my mentor, shout out to Vincent Price, youth empowerment director in the Boys Club, he connected us with the brother at Top 10. And he was like, hey, I got these records here from this guy named Jay-Z. Can you give it out? So as kids, we was like, sure, we took a shitload of them. So to see where he's at now promoting his records is like, wow, I've always been side by side with these guys, not necessarily getting fame, but still in that same respect because we grew up to this. So that's what I'm delivering to the people now. Like, listening to 40 is like the evolution. Like, y'all guys are witnessing the transformation of Chuck Platinum, like a different kind of artist. You're going to start seeing me open up into different things. And me as an artist, most of my career, I've utilized helping out people and helping out a lot of people and putting people on. So, like, I'm beginning to come out of my shell after all these years as an artist and kind of, show what Chuck Platinum is and who Chuck Platinum is, and not more or less be a mystery anymore and just kind of get my life through these bars and this music. So, yeah, that's what's going on pretty much in my world, music-wise. And what I've been working on, just a whole bunch of different vibes, sounds, collaborations, just kind of pushing myself to do more, knowing that I can, just kind of not being afraid to dabble into different textures of music and stuff like that. And, you and I, we about to collaborate real soon. So, I just got a lot of people on my radar that I want to work with, that I'm just opening that door that always reached out, but I kind of was in my own world doing stuff. And, I kind of eliminated a lot of people in my circle. So I'm just kind of opening up myself to work with different people, and that'll give me a different vibe too, and challenge me to do some different things. So yeah, that's what's going on right now, And I wanted to give you that exclusive to talk to you about it,
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just wanted to add in about hip-hop evangelist. That, to my mind, exactly what you explained. That's the first thing that came to my mind, because it's where our hearts are and our minds are. We're out here trying to teach and share and open minds and help the younger ones evolve into better artists. So that's what I heard when I heard that title. So
that's awesome.
Doing the beautiful things that you're doing. I'm awed by your work. Thank you.
Wow. I'm glad that's what you got from the title. Because, see, that's what, this is just me being my own critic. Those are the things that I think about, how will people get exactly where I'm going with this, you know what I'm saying? And just making sure that the body of work matches that. And it's important, because I don't do a lot of visuals, although there will be more actually coming, because I want to be creative visually with the music. And even some of my past work, I got some ideas. But that's what I've been thinking about, just painting this picture and making sure that the picture is painted where you could definitely see. So even with that title and you getting it, that means a lot, because that goes to show that, all right, I'm going in the right direction. Like, people that's near and dear and true to this, just like I am, it gets the picture. So, hey, that's what's up. I feel good about that.
Yeah, and also there's something that you brought to my mind when you were speaking about 40 and how hip-hop is evolving. So many of the younger ones think that we lose our hunger as we get older, but in fact, that is far from true. And we have more experiences to draw on. We have more emotions that we have been through to draw on. We have more stories. And so it's good that you're doing this. It's needed, and you're very important right now.
Yeah, that means a lot, because that's exactly where I'm going. It's just that there's nobody out here that's, either I put it on a post jokingly, it's like, the old dudes is trying to be young and the young ones is trying to sound dumb, and, it's like we got to do something different, we're at a level where, you know, our age was, we was in the 90s. That was our time. That was when hip hop was really developed into what it is and what it came to be today. Even with the young guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, they still sample. They just sample in their own way. You know, they sample what they know. You know, now they're sampling our records, which there's a big debate going on right now. I was tweeting somebody online, getting in a conversation, which I've been getting back into my Twitter because there's actually some real interesting conversations on there. And there's a big debate about these young producers sampling, our hip hop records, you know, like Swiss using, the special delivery, you know, other hip hop producers sampling hip hop producers. And, now, because of Meek Mill used like 3 big major hip hop records, like What's Beef, and he used Dead Presidents and The Getaway, the Mobb Deep song. So now there's this big debate about these young producers using hip hop and resampling hip hop beats. And my take on it was, listen, you know, me coming from all the eras, pretty much. The only era that I really wasn't part of was the first era, like Kool Herc and stuff like that. But once it started developing, like with Run DMC time, and being like, these guys are just doing what they know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad. As long as it sounds hot and you're not disrespecting the record, I don't have any problem using, you know, we all know what my beat Getaway is. You know what I'm saying? If we want that record, you know, we're going to go to that record, but I like what Meek Mill did to it. And I like that he was talking about some real stuff on each record that this generation needs to hear. So, you know, I'm picking up that young man, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't talking no dumb shit. He talking some real prison reform and, you know, stuff like that we need to be talking about. So, you know, I don't have no problem with it. As long as you ain't disrespecting the record, because that was always the thing with sampling and hip-hop. You know, we couldn't disrespect the James Brown records and stuff like that. Like, if we was going to use those records and they was going to clear these records, we had to make sure that we respect the records. So as long as they respecting the record, that's where my job comes in, is that now being an elder statesman in the game, if I see some shit, I'm going to take off my belt and I'm going to spank your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, that's my job. You know, that's my job. I was young like y'all, and if I did my part of the culture wrong and made us look like buffoonery, you know, my OGs would spank my ass just like that. You know what I'm saying? And they had no problem doing it. So that's what it is that we just gotta continue to do what we do. And the young boys, they feel it. My young boys, they listen to my music like, yo, oh gee, yo, this is fire, yo, this is fire. This you saying something, you know what I mean? The beats is fire. So, you know, like, the youth is in tune. You know, the youth is in tune. I think if it's hot, it's hot. You can't deny it. So shout out to everybody out there, you know, 18 and up that still fuck with 40. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still rocking with the OG. It's all good.
Sure. Well, we all had to learn that way just by listening to people who have been in the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important. And as you mentioned about taking your belt off and all of that, back in the day, that, as you said, you got in trouble if you didn't do it right. And
That's
that
right.
has been missing. It has been missing. It's just gone crazy. They need to learn the basics. They still need to learn
Absolutely.
the skill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they would be better at what they do if they did that. And I could tell, even with the young ones, I could tell which ones do. Like the Migos, for instance. I love the Migos. You know why? Because they're fresh and they got style. And all hip hop records wasn't the Mobb Deeps. You know, you also had the MC Hammers. You also had people that could put on a show that might not have been as lyrical. So, you know, I think that sometimes people forget that. You know, we want to be stuck on one side of hip hop. Like, yes, there was the Raekwons and the Ghostfaces and, you know, stuff like that. But then we did have the fun stuff like the Tone Lopes, you know what I'm saying? And the Sir Mix-a-Lot. And they was no less fresher than these guys. They just did what they did. And, you know, the young MCs and all of that, you know, that's all still hip hop. Two Live Crew, you know, all those people that did all those different things, and there was always subgenres in hip hop. That's what made hip hop what it is being multifaceted, you know. And I think that, you know, as long as it, you know, I mean, like I said, I don't listen to mumble rap, you know, but you know, I'm not with the whole Xanny and Percocet movement. But you know what?
Right.
We've been doing drugs from the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so tired of that talk too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but they doing Percocet and all. I'm like, man, but motherfuckers shooting heroin and, you know what I mean? Doing all kinds of drugs and all kinds of drugs, you know? Drugs and music go together. Come on, the Ray Charleses, all of these people, man, they all did it. I'm not condoning it by no means. Just say no if that's what you do, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I think people need to loosen up a little bit and kind of, you know, look at things, not do so much opinionated, but just kind of, you know, you'll enjoy life a little bit more if you kind of look at things for what it really is and see people for what they are, what they create. You know, I think some of these young guys' things is genius. Simplicity is genius. Because as a musician, I know I want to extra orchestrate everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, make these big eventful, and for them to make a record like Walk It Like I Talk It, I will overthink something like that. Like, dang, you know, how can I make this simple? And that's the magic in what they do. You know what I'm saying? So big up to the younger guys, you know, that's doing it and out there getting their money. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. These young boys is getting money out here. They get to it, you know. They learn how this streaming works. You know, I'm still figuring it out. They know how this works. And they're using it to their advantage to sell platinum records on a streaming platform. And the old heads I watch them go against it, like, oh, well, you know, you should purchase my album and blah, 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 blah. Even though with me, I've always been down with the streaming because I remember before Tidal even came out, I was talking about doing a stream, like a subscription service. And when I see the idea evolve, hey, I don't have the finances to do it, but when I seen it evolve, I'm like, yeah, y'all getting it. Because if you get 1 million people to subscribe and they're paying per click and they just click, it don't matter who click it. I can listen to my own music. I don't even listen to my music on my playlist. I'm going to listen to my music on Tidal. Why? Because the click don't discriminate. So I can listen to my own music and get paid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If it's in my playlist and I'm listening to my music, why am I going to create a playlist off of my iTunes when I could put my music on iTunes and I can listen to my own music like everybody else and pick my favorite songs and my own stuff? And see, that's what it is. We in the world of playlists now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you still want to do a body of work, but let the people decide what their favorite is. If your whole album is their favorite, dope. If they got 2 or 3 songs that they like, dope. So we got to have like a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like of a process of the new way and the old way. See, if we focus on album sales, that's like just focusing on CDs. You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to just focus on, I'm going to focus on Times Square and getting my CDs out, but online I could get to Japan. I've never been to Japan. I've sold records out there, though. I've sold records in Ireland. I've sold records in, you know what I'm saying, Congolese. I've sold records in Africa. You know, why? Because you can utilize the internet and all of that. So, you know, when you do that and you get these streams going, just imagine people out of the country fiending for your music and fiending for some hip hop. We keep ourselves here and we try to impress people. We keep, if you're local, you're local in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm an international artist. I've sold records internationally. So that makes me an international artist. It don't matter how many records I sold. It matters that I've sold these records outside of my vicinity. I've sold my records in Russia. I've sold records in China. I've sold records in Israel. I've sold records, you know, so once you do this, you're technically an international artist. So you don't have to let nobody, for the audience, you don't have to let nobody put you in a box. And that's what these young kids have learned, and that's why they're going platinum with these streams, because they know, let's get on these playlists. And how it works is Spotify, the reason why Spotify is so popular is because Spotify is the move. They got all of these playlists that got millions of subscribers. That's where you want to get on. If you can get one song on one of them playlists, some of them they pay to play, some of them don't. Some, if you can get on one song on one of them playlists, your song gonna pop. That's why radio is scared, because radio is no longer the relevant. By the time we get the radio, it's like, your record dead by the time you get the radio, because that means it's that popular that it made it the mainstream radio. So if it make it the mainstream radio, you should be worrying about some other records.
Right.
Yeah, so that's just how I just put everybody on to. I just gave y'all $1 billion worth of game. You need to rewind this right here, because I just gave y'all the whole game right there. But that's how it works. That's how we eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you give people hey, what's on everybody got a playlist. I got a playlist. Everybody got a playlist. You get people you put your music on these streaming sites, and you get one song. You figure out what's that song you like. Oh, okay, you got a playlist? Yeah. I put that in your playlist. Keep playing. So what's going to happen is that every time you stream that playlist, you know how many times I blindly stream a playlist? You know what I'm saying? Where the music is just going in the background and then the shit just repeats over and over again. Every time that happens, you get paid. So why would I focus on an album sale when people utilize their playlist every day? They subscribe. They paying for this. They're paying to pay me to listen to my music. So yeah, I want this. I want all the stream. I don't give a fuck if it's a penny or whatever. I've made hundreds of dollars from these plays and these pennies and stuff like that. So I say, man, don't worry about that. Them buying the album is a bonus. That's like a Christmas gift. If you get a sale like that, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about these streams, man. These streams is it. Because we in a mobile, everything's an app now. We on the mobile technology. These laptops and all of that is dinosaurs now. You about to do everything on your phone.
Right.
Everything. You can make beats. You can do everything on your phone. So it's like these streams is everything, man. And, that's what the young generation is teaching me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, get out of that old mentality of you're going to sell them. Nah, man. They ain't even making records and stuff like that is special stuff. When you make vinyl and things like that, those are things that collector's items. CDs and stuff like that. Man, people streaming. I want to get the music right now, Cool, just let's pray that that's their song. So when they put it in their playlist, they want to keep listening to that shit, and yeah. So that's what I've been focused on, man. Just helping people with this business and, just doing better business, man. That's what Chuck Platinum on right now. I graduate from college, in December of next year. I got one more year and I have my bachelor's of arts in business management. So that's what I'm focused on. Just like, in this 40 age, just educating and helping people and more public speaking for hip hop and becoming an advocate for this game and helping people become smarter, because there's no reason why people in this day and age should be getting jerked and doing 360 deals. Nobody should be doing no 360 deals. Nobody. We got too much independence. We got too much power in music to be doing 360 deals with these labels. We don't have to do them. Nobody ain't got to do them. You get paid. All you got to do is get your money up. There's services everywhere. The more money you have, the better your service is going to get. And that's just pure game right there. That's why people talk about, oh, why this talented person ain't get on. This talented person got on because they paid somebody to get their music where it was supposed to be.
Right.
That's it. That's the game. That's the game, man. It's a budget. That's why when people be talking about, oh, I ain't win, you ain't win because you ain't put no money behind your music.
Right.
Yeah. I ain't going to say it out here in a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that's why I love coming on interviews like this, because I always like to drop game, man. Let's get the emotion out of the music and, let's make great, because once you make great music and you put the money behind it, it's going to go where you want it to go. Seriously, it is, because the music it's got to be quality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, some garbage makes it through, but quality, if you put that effort into your music and you put that bank behind it, it's gonna go where you want it to go. You know, because your people gonna pay attention, because everybody do it. Everybody does. Everybody. You know, it's everybody. That's what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a service, because this is the digital era. In the digital era, you can make anything happen, because this is the art of, I hate to say it, but this is the art of illusion. So just imagine God help you keeping it 100, and you just put some money behind what you're doing, then you're not even creating an illusion. You're just showing people what it already is. So what's going to happen? They're going to attract to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody want to do. Put yourself in the forefront of attraction, because that's what it's all about, is attracting people to whatever you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? By you, I appreciate a person, and you would attracted to my work. You know what I'm saying? And seen and did your research and did your homework and stuff like that. People do that, and that's how you keep longevity, and people stick with you, because now they feel like they're a part of you. And that's been the secret of my success forever. You know, I'm cool with everybody. We cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm open like that. We family. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people jump on my posts, and they feel like you know what I'm saying? Everybody Dr. Phil on my shit. You know, it's fun. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dang, y'all crazy. But I feel love, and that's what happens when you put yourself out there, is people, they feel like they know you. And that's the dopest part about doing it. You know what I'm saying? Is when people admire your work that much, where they feel like, yo, man, I seen this dude when he was over here. Everybody jump on the train at some time. You know what I mean? And wherever you jump on the train at, boom, we riding. You know what I mean? So.